Hello, everybody. I hope all of you are having a good day today. Over the past year and a half, I've been observing some things. Have you noticed that on all of the social media, we are being bombarded with negativity, with hate, with division, and especially fear? With all of the things that keep us trapped in a lower state of mind. For weeks now, I've been going to all of the major media sites on YouTube and looking at the stories that they post. And most of the stories have something to do with the jabs. And every one of those stories where they're promoting it, the majority of the people that watch those videos are disliking them. And all of the comments are the same. The people are telling them, they're saying, you're liars, you're giving false news, you're doing nothing but spreading propaganda. Even the president here the other day said that he was going to start having people that refused the jab be arrested and have it forced on them. Even though he knows that he can't do that, it's impossible for him to be able to do that, it's illegal, he still said it. It's as if they all know everything that they're saying and doing is wrong, but they don't care. And I've come to the conclusion that the reason they're doing this, the reason they're posting all these things, even though they know it's garbage, it's rubbish, there's no truth to it at all, even though that, they continue to do it because they want to keep people pulled down into a lower state of consciousness. They know that the people don't believe it, or the majority of the people don't believe it. But their job, their purpose, is to keep posting it anyway, to keep people in this lower state. Because the more you watch it, the angrier you get, or the more fearful you get. And that's their purpose. That's what they're trying to do, because if they can do that, they can keep you from awakening, from reaching a higher level of consciousness. Because once you reach that higher level of consciousness, they lose control. Everything in this world is vibration, is frequency. The lower frequencies is where hate and fear and division is. Higher levels of frequency is where love is. God is love, and where there is God, you have perfection. Everything outside of love is chaos. Look at this sand on a metal plate that is being manipulated by sound, by frequency. On this first plate is a low vibration, and there's no shape to it. It's just chaos. There's no order to it at all. On the second plate, the frequency is beginning to rise, and you can see that it's starting to take form. And as the frequency gets higher, the form becomes beautiful. It takes shape. And this is what happens to us whenever we start walking in love instead of fear and hate. We have to climb a mountain. If you've noticed, a lot of times in Bible, you see people or you read about people climbing mountains. And let's look a little deeper into that. When you climb a mountain, what do? You're getting higher. You're going to a higher place. So think about it as a higher state of consciousness. After Moses came down from the mountain, from being at a higher place, from being in the presence of God, when he came down, his face was shining, and the people were afraid of him. So he had to put a veil over his face. He had to cover that up because those people at that time were not ready. They couldn't handle the truth yet, but they would later. After Jesus had fed the multitude, he insisted that his disciples get in the boat and go ahead to the other side. And while he dismissed the crowd, He climbed a mountain so that he could be by himself and pray. He stayed there alone late into the night. Jesus had to go to a higher place. And after he went to that higher place, what did he do? He walked on water. He was able to walk above it all. Then you'll remember Peter wanted to go out there. He wanted to walk on water too, and he started to, and then he looked at the waves and the wind, and he got scared, and he started to sink into the chaos. You remember when Jesus was at the cemetery, and the man possessed by all the demons came to him? It was legion. He had many demons. And the demons asked Jesus, said, please let us go into the pigs. And so the demons went into the pigs, and the pigs ran off a cliff. They fell down into the water. They went to a lower state of consciousness. They went in that water, and that's where Peter was sinking. He was sinking in that pit down there with all those demons, all those people in a lower state of consciousness who were dead. Remember, Jesus said, don't cast your pearls among swine. You know, those who are at a lower level of consciousness. And there was the prodigal son. He just wanted to eat what the swine were eating until he finally came back to his senses, and he went back to the Father, to a higher place. Jesus took Peter, James, and John up a high mountain. And there Jesus transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun. Remember, Moses had to hide his face, but Jesus didn't hide his. We are told to do the exact same thing. We have to go to a higher place and be transformed by the renewing of our mind. That word transformed is metamorpho. Look at the definition. It means to be transfigured. When you are transfigured, you reach a higher state. You have climbed a mountain. Jesus told those who were following him, he said, whenever you see all this chaos, all these horrible things going on in the world, whenever you do that, don't put your focus on that. What did he say do? He said, flee to the mountains. Go to a higher place. And once you've reached that higher place, you'll see what's going on in this world. God will share with you unsearchable things, and you'll realize that everything in this world is an illusion, it's a lie, and you'll do just like Jesus did and walk on water. You'll be able to walk above it all. It won't affect you in any way. And when you're out there walking on the water, you'll see people with their hands stretched out looking for help, and you'll be able to snatch them out of that fire. You'll be able to bring them out of it too and show them the truth, and they'll be able to walk on water as well. That's what we're here for. That's our only purpose. I love you all. God bless.